Sit tight and do not look away. You are about to be introduced to thousands of celestial and infernal beings, angels and demons, whose names echo through the annals of religious, mystical, and occult history. What you are about to witness is no ordinary list. This is an audio-visual descent into the shadows of divinity and damnation, adapted from Gustav Davidson's bone-chilling tome, A Dictionary of Angels, including the fallen angels. In the author's own haunting words, "At first I believed angels could only be found in the Bible, but soon I discovered the Bible was the last place to look for them. True, angels appear in both the Old and New Testaments, frequently, yes, but named angels, only 2 or 3. Nearly all the angels in this compilation are drawn from far older, darker, and more obscure sources. And that is the terrifying truth. The beings you are about to encounter have been gathered from apocalyptic scriptures, from the forbidden chambers of the Kabbalah, from Talmudic, Gnostic, and patristic texts, and from the cryptic realms of Merkabah mysticism. But it does not stop there. Many of these entities were exhumed from the blackened pages of ancient grimoires, manuals of dark magic, where secrets were never meant to be unearthed. There they were summoned, invoked, bound, named. Their invocations etched in grotesque detail, spells of summoning and exile addressed to spirits bearing names too strange, too profane to be spoken aloud. And yet we will speak them. So take a breath if you dare, because now we begin. One, Abel. Abel is an angel said to serve directly under the Archangel Michael. This name surfaces in an old mystical text known as the Wisdom of the Chaldeans, preserved by the scholar Moses Gaster. 2, Ariel, meaning Lion of God. His name was once found carved into an ancient Gnostic amulet, resting beside the name of Yaldabaoth, the twisted god of false creation. A chilling pairing discovered in a study of magical relics by the scholar Campbell Bonner. 3. Abba, an angelic spirit tied to human sexuality. He appears in old Kabbalistic rituals and can be invoked in magical rites. Abba is said to serve as a messenger to Sarabotes, the ruling angel of Friday and the winds. This being is mentioned across multiple occult works, including the Heptameron, the Magus, and even in the dark explorations of Eros and evil. 4th, Ababaloy, a name called out during Solomonic incantations. Ababaloy's presence is recorded in the Grimorium Verum, a forbidden book of black magic, feared for its detailed summoning rituals. 5. Abachta, also known as Abagtha, one of the 7 angels of confusion, the others being Barbona, Bigtha, Carcass, Biztha, Mehuman, and Zetha. These angels are also called the Pressers of the Winepress, a cryptic and ominous title that appears in ancient rabbinic lore. Their story is buried deep in the legends of the Jews, collected by Louis Ginsberg. 6. Abaddon, the Destroyer. He is called Abaddon in Hebrew and Apollyon in Greek, the angel of the bottomless pit. Revelation names him not once but twice. First, as the one who rises in the end times to unleash torment upon the earth, and again as the star that falls from heaven to bind Satan for 1,000 years. But Abaddon is far older than the pages of the Bible. In the Dead Sea Scrolls, he is not a name, but a place, the Sheol of Abaddon, where torrents of Belial burst into ruin. In the biblical antiquities of Philo, he is Sheol itself. He is hell, not a being. Milton in Paradise Regained calls him the pit. But then comes St. John, who gave Abaddon a face, a presence, an angel with a name, and a mission soaked in wrath. In the 3rd century Acts of Thomas, he is a demon. In Pilgrim's Progress, he is the devil himself. Francis Thompson wrote of his hooked wings. Klopstock called him Death's dark angel. But the occult speaks of another face. In the Greater Key of Solomon, Mathers writes, Abaddon is a secret name of God, invoked by Moses to bring down plague upon Egypt. The Kabbalist Gikatilla places him as the 6th of the 7 lodges of hell, ruled by the angel Pasiel. De Plancy calls him the destroying angel of the apocalypse. Barrett depicts him in the Magus as one of the evil demons, drawn in color vivid and terrible. And in the Zohar, he is Abaddon, with one D, a name for the netherworld itself. To some, he is Satan, to others, death. But in all tongues, in all times, he is destruction. 7. Abalidoth, a celestial luminary, tied, like the angel Abba, to human sexuality. Abalidoth serves under King Sarabotes, the angel who rules Friday, and the powers of the air. He appears in the forbidden pages of the Magus, and again in Eros and evil. He is desire personified, and beneath his wings, longing becomes power. 8. The Abalim, also called the Arelim, an ancient order, known in Christian angelology as the Thrones. The Hebrew calls them by another name. Abalim, great angels, strong and mighty. They are unshakable, silent, the closest to divine judgment. Among them stand the angels Zaphkiel and Jophiel. The Magus puts it plainly when it says, thrones, which the Hebrew call Abalim, mighty and strong. 9. Aban. In Old Persian lore, Aban is the angel of October, and more than that, of the 10th day of that month. Aban governs the turning of seasons, the quiet shift of time itself, referenced in Hyde's Historia Religionis Veterum Persarum. 10. Abariel. Abariel is a spirit invoked in the dark. His name is carved into the 2nd pentacle of the moon. Used in invocations and night rituals, he appears in the Greater Key of Solomon by Mathers, called upon when silence must answer back. 11. Abasdarhon. Abasdarhon is the supreme angel of the 5th hour of the night. The Lemegeton speaks of him, one of many angels who govern the hours. 12. Abathur Muzania, also known as Abdiel. In Mandean cosmology, he is an angel of the North Star. But more than that, he presides over the scales, the final weight. He weighs the human soul at death, determines its fate. Just like Azrael, just like Munka, the black angel of Mohammedan tradition. He is no mere watcher, he is judge. Referenced in the Mandaeans of Iraq and Iran by Drower. 13. Abay, an angel of the order of dominations or dominions, they who bring order in the midst of chaos. Abay's name is invoked in Kabbalistic conjuring rites. 14. Abaddonna, a fallen seraph. Once, he was the chosen companion of Abdiel. Now he is the penitent angel. In Klopstock's The Messiah, he mourns his fall. He did not truly rebel, and yet he fell. But Catholic doctrine is cruel. There is no redemption for angels. Once fallen, they are twisted forever. And Abaddonna remains, trapped between memory and damnation. 15. Abbaton, a name of God, or a death angel. In Solomonic magic, Abbaton commands demons. His name appears in the Greater Key of Solomon, a holy force wielding control. But in the Coptic Book of the Resurrection, he is something more. He is death itself, the guardian of hell's gates. 16. The Abdals, also known as the substitutes. In Islamic lore, there are 70 of these mysterious spirits called Abdals. Their names are known only to God, and through them, the world continues to turn. When one dies, another is quietly chosen. No fanfare, no warning. 40 of them walk the lands of Syria, and not one speaks his name. They are the hidden pillars, the sacred unknown, referenced in Jewish folklore and the lamas of Tibet. 17. Abdia, the servant. Abdia's name is carved into the outer circle of Solomon's pentagram. He appears in the Lemegeton, figure 156. A book of black magic holds him, but that does not mean he is evil. Many good angels serve in hell, not as prisoners but as instruments of divine will, just as evil ones have stood in heaven. The Grigori, the Watchers, for even the light has shadows. 18. Abdiel, meaning servant of God. The earliest known reference to Abdiel as an angel emerges in the book of the angel Raziel, a Jewish Kabbalistic work from the Middle Ages. This angel's story is woven into the celestial battle described in Paradise Lost, where Abdiel, the flaming seraph, strikes down rebellious angels, Ariel, Arioch, and Ramiel, on the first day of the war in heaven. Satan himself recoils from Abdiel's mighty sword stroke. Milton praises him, declaring, "Faithful only he among the innumerable false, unmoved, unshaken, unseduced." Yet a shadow of doubt lingers. In Milton and the Angels, West asserts that Abdiel's origin lies solely within Milton's creation. However, West later acknowledges his true roots in the book of the angel Raziel. In the Bible, the name Abdiel belongs to a mortal, a Gedit from Gilead. But is the name an echo of a forgotten celestial being? Abdiel also appears as Arcade in Anatole France's The Revolt of the Angels. His legacy, a paradox of both man and angel, straddles the line between two worlds. 19. Abdizriel, also known as Abdizriel. Within the Kabbalah, Abdizriel is one of the 28 angels that rule the moon's 28 mansions, each commanding their cosmic dominion. 20. Abedumabal, also known as Bedrimuliel, an angel summoned within the pages of the Grimorium Verum, his name spoken only in the deepest shadows. When invoked in magical prayer, his power bends the fabric of reality itself. 21. Abel, meaning meadow. A judge among souls in heaven, Abel sits as one of the 12 powers born of Yaldabaoth, the ancient god of creation. After each soul's passing, it must face Abel, who weighs the balance of their fate in the ethereal realms. In the Testament of Abraham, 13:11, Abel stands, judging the souls as they pass, and the scribe Enoch retrieves their records for judgment. His dominion extends over the fourth heaven, ruling with a command that echoes from the east, a harbinger of fate. 22nd, Abelech, also known as Helech. In occult lore, Abelech is both a name of God and an angel whose power is invoked to command demons. When summoned, his authority is absolute. His presence strikes fear into those who dare to face him, as his very name reverberates with divine force. 23rd, Abizithibod, the father devoid of counsel. In early Jewish texts, Abizithibod is a name synonymous with Samael, Mastema, and Uzzah, powerful spirits and chief devils. He fought against Moses, hardened Pharaoh's heart, and assisted the magicians in Egypt. Drowned in the Red Sea, he perishes with another demon known as Rahab, yet together they share dominion over Egypt. The Testament of Solomon reveals him as the son of Beelzebul, the demon of the Red Sea. 24th Abhael, an angel of the moon, one of the 28 rulers of the lunar mansions. Abhael presides over realms unknown to mere mortals. His presence is a harbinger of the moon's unseen forces, controlling destinies from above. 25th Abaresia, one of the 12 powers begotten by Yaldabaoth according to Gnostic lore. He is referenced in the secret books of Egyptian Gnostics 2 by Dores. 26. Ablati. Invoked in the ancient Solomonic rituals, Ablati is summoned by the master of the art. It is one of 4 words God spoke to Moses, binding the forces of nature, the other 3 being Josta, Agla, and Kaila. Together with Ablati, these words form an incantation of immense power. 27th Abuezra. The Grimorium Verum tells of Abuezra, the Most Holy, invoked in rituals of benediction. His presence in the Salt Rite is a reminder of the ancient forces still at play in the mystical world. His name, uttered in sacred rites, carries a heavy weight of divine secrecy. 28th, Abracadabra, meaning I bless the dead. Abracadabra is one of the oldest incantations in the world, believed to originate from the Hebrew phrase Habrachadabara, meaning speak the blessing. This ancient word was inscribed on amulets to ward off disease and danger. As it was uttered, the word would fade away letter by letter until only the final A remained, an invocation that left the air thick with power and fear. 29th, Abragate, a spirit, perhaps angelic, invoked through Solomonic prayer by the master of the art, according to the greater key of Solomon by Mathers. 30. Abrasiel, an angel operating in the 7th hour of the day under the rulership of Barginiel, according to sources like the Pauline Art and the Book of Ceremonial Magic. 31. Abraxas, also known as Abraxas or Abrasax. In Gnostic theogony, Abraxas, the deity of the highest order, the supreme unknown, the source of 365 emanations, governs the cycles of creation itself. In the Gnostic system, Abraxas mediates between the earthly and the divine, bridging the gap with power beyond comprehension. His name is engraved on ancient gems, amulets worn by those seeking his enigmatic favor. In the Kabbalah, he is the Prince of Aeons. He is encountered in the Sword of Moses, the Book of the Angel Raziel, and other tracts of magic and mysticism. According to the older mythographers, Abraxas is, or was, a demon and placed with the Egyptian gods. The word abracadabra is reputedly derived from Abraxas. Originally, it was a word expressing in the Gnostic system the aeons or cycles of creation. In a deeper sense, it served as a term for God. The Gnostic writer Basilides, who is said to have invented Abraxas, according to Forlong's Encyclopedia of Religions, claims that Abraxas was the archon ruler of 365 heavens and acted as mediator between the animate creatures of the earth and the Godhead. 32. Abrid, an angel of the summer equinox. Abrid is called upon to ward off the evil eye, according to Trachtenberg's Jewish magic and superstition. 33rd Abriel. Once part of the angelic order of dominations, Abriel's presence is invoked in Kabbalistic rites, according to the 6th and 7th books of Moses. 34. Abrimus, an angel invoked at the close of the Sabbath, his name spoken in ritual to honor the transition from the sacred to the mundane, according to Trachtenberg's Jewish magic and superstition. 35. Abrinael, one of the 28 angels who govern the lunar mansions. his name inscribed in the heavens as a symbol of cosmic order and celestial power. His domain is that of the moon, where he whispers the secrets of fate to those who dare to listen. 36. Abru-el, meaning power of God. Abru-el is the Arab equivalent of Angel Gabriel, according to Forlong's Encyclopedia of Religions. 37th. Abru-el, another of the 28 rulers of the moon's mansions. His influence extends over the celestial sphere, bringing forth the hidden forces of the night. 38th. Absinthium. This one is not an angel or a demon or a spirit. Absinthium is the Latin name for wormwood, a herb steeped in both medicinal and mystical properties. Its bitter taste serves as a reminder of the dual nature of all things, both curative and corrupting. 39th. Abtelmalushos, also known as Temelush or Temelushus, a looming angelic sentinel found in apocryphal lore, grim, eternal, and judging. Known for punishing the damned and overseeing the souls of the wicked dead, his presence marks the threshold between divine justice and hellish consequence. 40. Abu-Hazar. In the solemn workings of occultism, Abu-Hazar ministers under Arkan, the sovereign of angels of the air on Mondays. Aligned with the west wind, his name stirs in rituals under this elemental dominion. Reference: The Magus by Francis Barrett. 41. Abuyonij. In the 6th and 7th books of Moses and other arcane manuscripts, Abuyonij dwells in the second heaven, where he serves among the angelic hosts, his name uttered in rituals seeking heavenly intervention. 42. Abuyori, also known as Abuyoro. Summoned from the north in rites conducted on Wednesday, this angel Abuyori is said to inhabit the second or third heaven, according to different sources such as the Heptameron by Pietro de Barno and the Magus by Francis Barrett. 43. Abul-el. In obscure Jewish occult traditions, Abul-el transmits prayer, a channel between mortal plea and divine ear. Mentioned in Joffe and Mark's Great Dictionary of Yiddish Language WUM, but absent from Marguliath's Malaka Elion, the Hesheloth Tracts, Trachtenberg's Jewish Magic and Superstition, and Gershom Scholem's writings. His importance is therefore minor beside titans like Acatriel, Metatron, Raphael, Sandalphon, Michael, and Sizuz. 44. Abuzahar, a moon angel of Monday's dominion. In ritual magic, his name answers lunar calls and ancient lunar invocations. He is referenced in the work titled Les Admirables Secrets d'Albert le Grand. 45. Acclamations. Robert Flood in his writings names acclamations among 3 primal angelic hierarchies. The other 2 hierarchies are voices and apparitions. Each one splits again into 3, echoing divine order through 9 sacred ranks. 46. The Accusing Angel. The Accusing Angel walks with the name Ha-Satan, accuser and adversary, as in Job. He is known as Samael, sometimes Mastema. As Rabbi Zusha reflected upon the Pirkei Avot texts, every sin begets an accusing angel. Each transgression breathes life into a celestial prosecutor. 47. Akaya, meaning trouble. Akaya is one of 8 seraphim in the Kabbalistic heavens. He grants patience and uncovers the secrets of nature. The angel Chaos is his divine twin. His sigil may be found in Amberland's Kabbalistic works, in La Kabbale Pratique, page 260. 48. Achamoth. Achamoth is the daughter of Pistis Sophia in the Ophitic Gnostic tradition. From her womb came the abominable god Yaldabaoth, father of the Archons, born from ignorance, ruling in error. Reference: The Gnostics and Their Remains by Charles William King. 49. Acatiel and Acathriel. These are powerful names inscribed on protective oriental charms to ward off evil. Their mystic symbols defend the bearer from demonic approach, as referenced in Hebrew amulets by Ephraim Schreier. 50. Azrael. He is the celestial usher, guiding the souls and messages within heaven's court, according to Deuteronomy Rabbah. 51. Achelia, an angel whose name is inscribed on the first pentacle of Venus, a sigil of love, attraction, and celestial beauty. Referenced in MacGregor Mather's The Greater Key of Solomon. 52. Achides, an angel etched into the third pentacle of Venus, drawing forth the harmonies of desire and divine favor. Referenced in The Secret Lore of Magic by Idris Shah and The Greater Key of Solomon by Mathers. 53. Aksa, spirit of benevolence, she is summoned by the master of the art in solemn prayer during Solomonic conjurations. Her presence brings kindness and clarity. Referenced in The Greater Key of Solomon by MacGregor Mathers. 54. Actariel. Actariel is a variant name of Acatriel, meaning the crown of God, through whom divine speech flows, luminous, blinding, unspeakably sacred. 55. Akhusatan, one among 15 throne angels in the 6th and 7th books of Moses. These guardians encircle the throne, their names radiating sanctity. 56. Asiel. Asiel is one of the 7 electors, the underworld planetary sub-rulers who serve beneath the dominion of Raphael, according to the Testament of Solomon. 57. Aklahai, the genius of gambling, master of chance and the dice's whim. He also rules the 4th hour among the genii, as referenced in the Noctemeron by Apollonius of Tyana. 58. Akrabiel, a zodiacal angel, a celestial ruler of constellations and cosmic rhythms, according to the 3 books of occult philosophy, 3 by Heinrich Cornelius Agrippa. 59. Adabiel. Adabiel is one of the 7 archangels in the hierarchy of the blessed angels, possibly another guise of Abdiel, and sometimes equated with Zadkiel or even Nergal, king of the underworld. His dominion is over Jupiter, though Mars is also cited. 60. Adad. In Assyro-Babylonian lore, Adad thunders as a storm god and holds the title Lord of Foresight, referenced in René Huyger's Larousse Encyclopedia of Mythology, page 59. 61. Adadia, a hidden name, one of over 100 secret names of the Archangel Metatron, keeper of divine records and voice of God's will. 62. Adam, meaning man. In the book of Adam and Eve 1, Adam is the bright angel. In Enoch 2, he is a second angel. The Midrash Bereshith Rabbah tells that Adam's height spanned earth to firmament. The Kabbalah identifies him with the 6th Sephirah, which is Tifereth, beauty incarnate. Rabbi Meyer declared that Adam's dust was drawn from every land. The Talmud said he was androgynous, reflecting the divine. The Apocalypse of Moses describes his ascent to heaven in Michael's chariot. In other apocrypha, he is rescued from hell by Jesus or buried by the archangels, Uriel, Gabriel, Raphael, and Michael, according to various references such as the Book of Adam and Eve, Enoch 2, Midrash Bereshith Rabbah, the Talmud, the Apocalypse of Moses, the Revelation of Moses and the Kabbalah unveiled. 63. Adam's angel, Raziel. Raziel, the angel of secrets, is called Adam's angel. To Adam he delivered the book of divine mysteries after Eden's gates slammed shut behind him. 64. Adatiel. Adatiel is an airy spirit summoned in ritual magic. The black raven depicts him in a mantle of black and white, billowing like storm clouds. In the Magia, in Butler's ritual magic, he wears a blue mantle, alive with the currents of wind and change. 65. Adeo. From the angelic order of dominations he came, but it is in rites of magic that he lingers now. Adeo's name is spoken in the 6th and 7th books of Moses, that cursed tome that teaches not praise but control, brief, dangerous control. 66th Adonahayel, also known as Adnakiel. The name echoes through the forgotten halls of time, where this angel, shrouded in the veil of mystery, was bestowed by God a potent and ancient magical formula. This arcane knowledge was inscribed on an Ethiopian amulet, its purpose, the cure of colic, the soothing of troubled stomachs. A power long lost to the mortal realm, forgotten by most, but forever held in the cryptic whispers of ancient texts, referenced in amulets and talismans by Budge. 67. Adhaiji John, a name veiled in the secrecy of the seal, invoked in conjuring rites. This angel, called forth in times of darkness, holds dominion over rituals of the forbidden, hidden from the light, referenced in the 6th and 7th books of Moses. 68. Adhar, a name, a whispered echo, one of the many sacred and enigmatic titles of Metatron. The mystery of this angel is intertwined with all that is concealed beyond mortal comprehension. 69. Abdiel, in the mystic Hekeloth lore, where the celestial and earthly realms collide, Abdiel is the eternal guardian of the 7th heaven. His watchful gaze, a sentinel of unimaginable power, endures through the ages, referenced in the Maase Merkabah. 70. Adamus, a figure of damnation, summoned in an infamous council in Rome in 745 CE, where 6 angels were condemned, their names cursed to linger in the abyss. Among them are Uriel, Raguel, and Simiel. Bishops who dared to invoke these beings were excommunicated, a mark of defiance against heaven, an eternal stain upon their souls, referenced in the hierarchy of the blessed angels by Haywood. 71st Adir, also known as Adiri, Adiron, or Adi, an angelic name invoked in the occult arts by the progressive shortening of his name to invoke the might of its power. A name also used to call upon the divine, an expression of God's eternal grandeur. 72nd Abariel, meaning magnificence of God. Once exalted, now fallen to serve beneath Beelzebub, the sub-prince of hell. One of the 49 spirits now condemned to the darker realms, this angel's grace turned to malice. Referenced in the Book of the Sacred Magic of Abramelin the Mage, page 108. 73. Adiram, an angel invoked during the sacred rites of exorcism, his power channeled in the purification of salt. His name reverberates in the ancient texts, a seal of cleansing and protection, referenced in the Grimorium Verum. 74. Adiriah. Adiriah is a silent guardian, residing within the 7th heaven, his essence woven into the very fabric of celestial fortitude. A name known to few but felt by all who seek the highest of realms, referenced in the Malach Elion by Marguliath. 75. Adiriel. Adiriel is an angel who dwells within the 5th heaven according to the Zohar, his presence a beacon of divine brilliance and celestial wisdom. His name, etched into the ancient scrolls, stands as a protector of the divine order. 76. Adiririan, an angelic chief, a harbinger of the might of God. His name resounds like thunder, a force that bends even the heavens themselves. Adiririan stands as a sentinel at the gates of heaven's halls, guarding the sacred threshold. He is invoked in amulets, his presence a shield against the evil eye. A divine guardian of unimaginable strength, his hands shaping both the celestial and the earthly realms. Referenced in Scholem's major trends in Jewish mysticism and in Trachtenberg's Jewish magic and superstition. 77. Adityas. The Adityas are the shining gods of the Vedic pantheon, 7 celestial deities with Varuna reigning as chief. Their light, ever-burning, eternal and divine, each a sentinel of the heavens, Their names carry a weight of power that none can deny. Varuna, Mithra, Savitar, Bhaga, Indra, Daksha, and Surya, each a god in their own right, each an eternal force. Referenced in Gaynor's Dictionary of Mysticism and Redfield's Gods, a dictionary of the deities of all lands. 78. Ajuchus, the genius of the rocks, a being of primordial power, one of the genii of the 11th hour. An ancient force drawn from the depths, wielded in secret rites, binding the very earth beneath his feet. Referenced in the Noctimeron by Apollonius of Tyana and in Transcendental Magic by Levi. 79. Admael, one of the 7 archangels who stand in dominion over the earth. Admael is stationed in the 2nd heaven, according to Jewish encyclopedia and Angelology. 80. Adnakiel, also known as Advakiel or Adernahil. This celestial being is the ruling angel of November, governing the vast and unpredictable power of Sagittarius. Adnakiel's presence alternates with Phaleg, a name that resonates throughout the heavens, marking him as an angel of supreme power in the celestial order of angels. Referenced in Haywood's The Hierarchy of the Blessed Angels, in Barrett's The Magus, in Budge's Amulets and Talismans, in de Plancy's Dictionnaire Infernal, and in Camfield's A Theological Discourse of Angels. 81st Adnai, meaning pleasure. An angel whose name is etched upon the sacred pentacle of Venus, a divine essence, his presence invoked in the conjuration of power, his mark bringing forth pleasure, his touch delivering divine blessings upon the earth, according to references such as the Greater Key of Solomon by Mathers and the Secret Lore of Magic by Shah. 82nd Adnarel, meaning my Lord is God. In the ancient writings of Enoch, Adnarel reigns as one of the rulers of the seasons. His dominion extends over the coldest of times, the dark grip of winter. 83rd, Adoil, meaning hand of God. A primordial essence, a creature of divine light summoned from the depths of the invisible. At God's command, Adoil tore through the veil of existence, giving birth to all things visible. In the ancient text of Enoch 2, Adoil is seen as the beginning of all things, a power that shaped the universe itself. R.H. Charles spoke of this creation as a modification of the ancient Egyptian egg theory, a creation myth intertwined with divine energy. Reference Enoch 2. 84. Adoniel. In the Testament of Solomon, Adoniel stands as one of the 7 archangels, a being with the power to conquer the demons of disease, such as Bobal and Metathiax, a healer, a warrior, a protector of the mortal realm. His name is inscribed in the sacred texts of old, a beacon of divine strength. References, 3rd Book of Enoch and the Testament of Solomon. 85. Adonath. By invoking Adonath, the demon Ichthion, a terror who brings paralysis, can be driven away. His name, spoken in dark rites, carries the power to banish evil, to shackle those forces that would bind the living, according to the secret lore of magic by Shah. 86. Adonai, meaning God. Adonai, one of the 7 Elohim, the angels of the presence, stands as the creator of the universe. This name is also a title for God himself, invoked in sacred conjurations, such as the conjuration of wax, and in exorcisms of fire in Solomonic magic operations. When mercy flows upon the world, it is Adonai who delivers it. In Ophitic Gnosticism, Adonai is the creator of angels, fashioned in his own image by Yaldabaoth, as referenced in the Gnostics and their remains by King. 87th Adonaios, also known as Adonaiu or Adonaius, a ruler of the 7 heavens, one of the 7 archons or potentates that constitute the Hebdomad, rulers of the 7 heavens. Adonaios is an immortal being within the Ophitic system. His power flows from the divine, shaped by Yaldabaoth, and his influence extends to the farthest reaches of the celestial realms. A being of incomprehensible power and mystery, referenced in Contra Celsum by Origen and the secret books of the Egyptian Gnostics by Durres. 88. Adoniel. In the sacred texts of the Lemegeton, Adoniel is a chief officer angel, serving at the 12th hour of the night under Serindiel. His name is inscribed upon the sacred pentacle of Jupiter, marking his power as one who guards and protects. His presence a guide through the darkest of times. 89. Adosia. A supervising archangel in Gurdjieff's cosmic myth titled All and Everything, Beelzebub's Tales to his grandson. Adosia's existence, though veiled in fiction, holds a deep and terrible power. A name whispered in the dark, a force of the unseen world. 90. Adoth. In the 6th and 7th books of Moses, Adoth is a cherub or seraph, invoked in the ancient rites of conjuring. His wings, wide and endless, bring forth dominion over the forces of the heavens, his presence a harbinger of divine will. 91. Adoyahel, a ministering angel of the angelic order of thrones, one of 15 listed in the Kabbalah. Adoyahel's name is called upon in rites of power, his influence over the divine throne, his dominion within the sacred spheres. The names of all the 15 ministering throne angels will be made known as we progress through this series. 92. Adriel, meaning my help is God. An angel serving in the first heaven, Adriel's name is uttered as a prayer, a call for divine assistance. His wings bring protection, his presence a shield against the darkness. 93. Adrai. A name etched into the pages of the Greater Key of Solomon, Adrai is invoked in the conjuration of ink and colors. A spirit of creation, of expression, summoned through the sacred rites to bring forth the essence of artistry. 94. Adramelech, meaning King of Fire. Adramelech, his name burns through the pages of time like a fire that consumes all. A throne angel linked with Asmodai, his presence marks the realm of the fiery. But in the shadow of demonology, his name is a symbol of terror, a great minister in the Order of the Fly, an order founded by Beelzebub. Manifesting as a mule or peacock, he is a terrifying figure, a god to whom children were sacrificed in ancient rites. A fallen angel overthrown by Uriel and Raphael in combat, his power wields destruction, his malice unbound. References: Seligman's History of Magic and Milton's Paradise Lost. 95. Adrapen. According to the Lemegeton, when the veil of night descends and the 9th hour tolls, Adrapen takes command. A chief angel in the silent dominion of darkness, he serves beneath Nakoriel, his presence, a sentinel in the shadows. His name is invoked in the sacred rites that mark the turning of the hours, a guardian of mysteries known only to those who walk between sleep and the spirit world. 96. Adriel, meaning my help is God. Adriel, one of the 28 mighty rulers presiding over the lunar mansions, the mansions of the moon, his name woven into the cycle of the moon and its hidden powers. But beyond this celestial role, Adriel's presence takes a darker form, an angel of death. In the hierarchy of the blessed angels, it is foretold that in the last days, Adriel shall rise to slay all souls, still clinging to the realm of the living. In Ozar Midrashim 2, he stands as a gatekeeper to the south wind, and the east, a warden of the winds and of endings. 97. Adrigan, a name that echoes in silence, another face and name of the unknowable Metatron, one of many forms, many voices, many masks. Each name is a cipher to the divine. 98. Abel. Abel is one of the three ministering angels, summoned by the breath of God himself, the others being Sheetal and Anush, appointed not to war nor wrath, but to serve Adam, the firstborn of dust. Their acts were not thunderous, but unsettling in their intimacy. From the shadows of Eden, they roasted meat for Adam. They mixed and poured his wine, warm and dark. These divine servants, whispered in Yalkut Rubeni, drifted through the book of Adam and Eve like spectral attendants of a forgotten rite, feeding the man who would betray Eden. 99. Eglon, a genius of lightning, a spirit of the 11th hour when the veil between worlds thins. Named in the arcane words of the Nuktemeron, that cursed text of Apollonius of Tyana. He crackles in the blackened skies of occult clocks, a glowing sentinel whose hour is never peace, only the charged breath before annihilation. 100. Ahaya, one of the 72 bearing the sacred and dreadful name, Shemhamphorai. From the Magus his name crawls through invocations, etched into bloodied parchments by desperate mystics. His presence brings neither comfort nor warmth, only the weight of hidden law and the silence of unknowable truth. 101. Aeon, a celestial power of a high order. In Gnosticism, the Aeons rise as powers too ancient for heaven's choir. They are the first created beings with Abraxas as their head, who is also an emanation of God. Basilides numbered them as the 365 shadows of God's emanation, while various other sources say they are 8, 12, 24 or 30 in number. Chief among them aside the supreme Abraxas are Pistia Sophia, the female personification of wisdom, and Dynamis, the personification of power, brutal and male. Then you have Abraxas, the supreme Aeon, who mirrored himself on chaos and became Lord of the world. 102. Ashma. Born of Persian fire, he is the great Asmodeus, one of 7 archangels in the forgotten pantheon, the archangels known as the Amesha Spentus, whom you will know about as we progress through the series. Nothing holy clings to his name. He is the echo of wrath, his breath the wind of ruin. In Zen scripts he is Ashmodaiva, or Ashmedeva, demon by title, terror by nature. 103. The ethereal powers. Milton named them, but the air has known them far longer. In Paradise Regained, line 163, they drift through paradise itself, bright as fire, cold as judgment. Not angels of mercy, but of vigilance, their wings folded behind thrones of silence. 104. Af, anger incarnate, Prince of Wrath, one of the destroyers. From heaven's 7th hall, this towering colossus, 500 parasangs high, walks in armor forged from chains of black and red fire. In the book of Exodus, he once swallowed the prophet Moses, devouring him up to his circumcised flesh. Only the blood of a child's covenant spared the prophet from digestion, for Af disgorged Moses when the prophet's wife Zipporah circumcised her son Gershom, thus appeasing God's wrath against the prophet who had ignorantly overlooked the covenantly rite of circumcision. Af remains above, a furnace of fury, bridled only by the ancient rites. His name breathes through the Zohar, Midrash Tehillim, and the legends of the Jews, like an ember that refuses to die. 105. Aphafiel, an angelic god. He waits at the 7th hall, silent, watching. A sentinel forged in the sacred Hekaloth, a guardian of heaven's final threshold. His presence is weight alone, no voice, no motion, only judgment held in stasis. 106. Arf-Bree. Rain obeys him, the skies know his name. For the children of Israel he favors life, for the wicked he withholds. A spirit hidden in Malach Elion, he is unseen but always present when clouds gather and blessings or curses fall from heaven. 107. Afafnil. a wrathful angel, a storm of faces, 16 in total, 4 on each side of his head, and each in endless, tormented transformation. A prince of wrath, a being of perpetual shifting horror, his image drawn from the book of the angel Raziel, too unstable for mortal comprehension. 108. Afkiel, another angelic god. He stands at the 5th heavenly hall, a gatekeeper in the Hecheloth, not of welcome but of restriction. He bars what should never pass, his gaze enough to unmake the soul. 109. Afriel, also known as Apharoth, he is an angel of force and flame, a reflection of Raphael, or something darker wearing Raphael's mask. From the cursed lips of the Testament of Solomon, he bears the power to banish the demoness Obizeth, that powerful child destroyer. But what force can do that without first sharing in her nature? 110. Avsikov. The month of Av belongs to him, from July to August, when the world burns in memory and judgment. Listed in Schwab's vocabulary of angels, he governs the days of mourning with invisible hands, pressing sorrow into the weeks of fire. 111. Aftermaluchos. From the tormented pages of the Falasha anthology, he carries a fork of fire through heaven's rivers of flame, an angel of torment, a figure of agony, a whisper in the apocalypse of Paul. He burns not with justice, but with divine punishment. 112. Abdiel, Twilight's own, the angel who rules the fading light, the space between day and night, life and death. Named in the shadowed glossary of Schwab, unseen by day, unreachable by night. 113. Agad, a member of the angelic order of powers, his name carried through the pages of the Kabbalah of Ambalain. Agad is also mentioned in the poem called Sagesse by Hilda Dolittle, the poet touched by spirits. 114. Agaf, a destroyer, summoned when the Sabbath dies, when the veil thins, a name whispered at the edge of ceremony. Trachtenberg recorded his presence in dark tradition in the work titled Jewish Magic and Superstition, but no ink captures the dread of his rising. 115. Agalmatirod. Called in the greater rites of Solomon, he is a most holy angel, so named in the greater key. But holiness and horror are not strangers. His presence is invoked when human will dares reach beyond its bounds. 116. Agares. Once a virtue, now a duke of hell. 31 legions kneel before him. He comes as an old man on a crocodile, a goshawk perched on his arm. He teaches language, he causes quakes, and his name is bound within the brass seals Solomon cast into lakes, his sigil inked in blood by those who would speak to demons. He is named in many grimoires of magic, such as the Ars Goetia, the lesser key of Solomon. 117. Agason. A spirit invoked in the grim echoes of Solomonic conjuration. Thy most holy name, Agason, they chant, eyes rolled back, feet crossing thresholds not meant for flesh. 118. Agathodemon, the seven-voweled serpent, the seven-voweled seraph, the Christ. He slithered from Egypt as Agathodemon, the good spirit, and was twisted through Gnostic mirrors into a guardian, a genius, a serpent with wings. He is Hermes. He is the shadow of Tyche. He is all good until he is not. His name is inked in the Infernal Dictionary by de Plancy and the Secret Doctrine by Blavatsky, and he waits behind every whisper of divine serpents. 119. Agbas. According to Ma'asa Merkaba, the Hekeloth lore, he stands guard at the 4th heavenly hall. His silence is eternal, his judgment absolute. He is neither seen nor worshipped. He only knows when one does not pass. 120. Abdiel. His name is etched into Mercury's pentacle. He is Saturn's presiding intelligence. He moves with Zazel in the conjunction of destruction and mind. Paracelsus called him power, others called him doom. He is inked in the talismans of those who do not fear damnation. 121. Abdiel. At the seventh heavenly hall, he waits with flame and force. He is the last to see the soul before it rises, or is shattered. 122. Agla. More than a name, a word of power, 4 letters, the first of a sentence older than the stars. Agla, pronounced Agla, is the abbreviation of the words Atha Gadol Leolam Adonai. It is invoked in exorcism, conjuration, and desperate prayer. It is the name of God that Joseph invoked when he was delivered from his brothers. It is Lucifer's dread, Solomon's seal, power compacted into syllables, terror sealed in a single breath. 123. Agniel, the fourth of the unholy Sephiroth, a dark inversion. He resides in the Zohar's broken mirror, among the shadows of divine corruption. 124. Agrat Bat Mahlat, an angel of prostitution, one of the 3 who mate with Samael in damnation's bed. Her sisters are Lilith and Nama. Together they twist the sacred into shadow. She dances through night terrors and seduces the righteous into ruin. Her name is not forgotten, it is feared. 125. Agromil. He stands as the silent sentinel of the 6th heaven. Agromiel, the angelic guard, whose name echoes like a whisper through the records of the Ozar Midrashim. Nothing passes his watch unseen, for he is stationed where mortal eyes dare not wander. 126. Aha. From the angelic order of dominations comes Aha, a spirit forged of holy fire, wielded in Kabbalistic rites as a flame-bound force of divine command. Summoned through sacred texts, his fire does not burn the wicked. It purifies, sears through the astral filth, a blazing tool according to the 6th and 7th books of Moses. 127. Ahabiel, the angel of longing, invoked in the delicate craft of love charms. His name drips like nectar from the lips of those who call upon him through the Aramaic incantation texts buried deep within Nippur's ancient stones, a spirit of desire, summoned not in lust, but in binding hearts beneath divine watch. 128. Ahadiel. The law has a sword, and that sword has a name, Ahadiel. This angel, divine executor of heaven's decree, stalks the guilty in silence. His presence is the breath of justice, cold and absolute. From the pages of Marguliath's Malach Elion, his name is recorded not once, but twice, as if even ink trembled to forget him. 129. Ahadis. As the veil of autumn descends and the month of Heshwan stirs, from October to November, so rises Ahadis, the angel of that shadowed season. In the echoes of Schwab's ancient vocabulary of angels, his dominion is whispered, a time of dimming light and gathering storm, a season watched over by an angel few dare name aloud. 130. Ahaha. Seal-bearer of power, Ahaha is no jest. Summoned through rites from the 6th and 7th books of Moses, this angel of the seal binds demons, bars entry, and carves divine inscriptions into the fabric of sorcery, a name spoken in circles of power, where breath must not waver. 131. Ahij. Drawn from the celestial currents of Mercury, Ahij is a spirit of swift intellect and alchemical force, a spirit of the planet Mercury, according to the 6th and 7th books of Moses. Summoned in the sacred conjurations of Moses' grimoires, he is evoked beneath planetary hours with Mercury's speed and cunning. A trickster, perhaps, or a guide, if one dares trust him. 132. A Hamniel. Among the blades that shimmer in heaven's arsenal, one belongs to a Hamniel, chief prince, chosen by God to wield the sword. Named in the Sword of Moses by Gaster, he is no mere warrior. He is a prince of divine war, appointed to sever wickedness from the root, and his sword hums with heaven's wrath. 133. A Haniel. There is an hour when screams echo through the veil between life and death, the hour of childbirth. And in that hour, one of 70 stands guard, a Haniel. Named in Margoliath's grim register, he is a ward against the darkness that comes for mother and child. An amulet angel, he is one of the 70 angels of childbirth as listed in the Malachi Elion by Margoliath. 134. Ahariel. Behold Ahariel, angelic ruler of the second day, a servant beneath the command of mighty Gabriel. His dominion stirs with the pulse of divine time, his presence woven into the sacred rotation of the heavens. Referenced in the Malach Elion by Margoliath. 135. Ahasior. He who rules over the month of Tibet, December into January, is Ahasior. Cloaked in wintry breath, his authority stirs with the cold stillness of the season's cusp. His name resounds through Hebrew mystic tradition, referenced in the Vocabulaire de l'Angelology by Schwab. 136. Ahaviel. Found etched into the sacred metal of an Oriental Hebrew kamea. The name Ahaviel whispers protection, an angel called to ward off the encroaching dark, as recorded in the work of Schreier, titled The Hebrew Amulets. 137. Ahia, also known as Hiya. Born of a forbidden union, Ahia is the son of the fallen angel Semyaza. From corruption came life, for while the pure spirits cannot propagate, the fallen, now demonic, sow chaos through their unholy lineages. Referenced in the Legends of the Jews 3 by Ginsberg. 138. Ahiel, meaning brother of God. Among the 70 childbed angels stands Ahiel, assistant to Kafsiel, ruler of the seventh day. His presence is invoked to guard the thresholds of life and suffering, as referenced in the book of the angel Raziel. 139. Ajmael. From the sacred exorcisms of Arabic lore, Ajmael is summoned. A guardian angel, he drives out the unclean, invoked in rites to shatter demonic bonds. Reference A Dictionary of Islam by Hughes. 140. Ahriman, also called Ahriman, Aharman, Dahak, or Angro-Mainyus. The Persian prince of evil. Ahriman, the prototype of Satan. Once worshipped by the Magi, once not wholly wicked, until Sassanid ages steeped him in night. It was he who slew the archetype of man and beast, bringing death to a world unready. Yet he is not eternal. He shall be undone by Ahura Mazda, the omniscient Lord of heaven and earth, referenced in the Encyclopedia of Religions by Forlong. 141. Azariel. Another name scrawled on a talisman against the dark, Azariel, whose power lies silent within ancient charms, protecting the bearer from unseen evil, as referenced in Schreier's Hebrew Amulets. 142. Iavel. One among the 72 sovereign angels of the zodiac, Iavel governs celestial signs, turning the great wheel of destiny inscribed in stars. 143. Aiel. On Sundays, call to Aiel, angel of the air, one of the fiery triplicities, governor of Aries, who dwells in the fourth heaven. But summon him only from the north, for there his essence burns brightest, as referenced in the Heptameron and the Lemegeton. 144. Ailoios. Within Gnostic mysteries he stands, Ailoios, ruler of the second gate, leading toward the Aeon of the Archons. His name echoes through the writings of Origen. He is also referenced in Lege's work titled Forerunners and Rivals of Christianity 2, 145, the Aishim, the Flames. Born of fire, the Aishim are angelic beings of flame, described in the Zohar. They are ministers of divine fire, spirits kindled from Psalms 104, verse 4, where it says, "He maketh his angels spirits, his ministers a flaming fire." 146, aesthesis, or thelesis, meaning free will. In Gnostic tradition, aesthesis, the embodiment of divine will, emanates as a great luminary, a blazing thought formed from eternity itself. 147, Akai, meaning oath. The ineffable name Akai is hidden deep within the Book of Enoch and Gasta's Logos Hebraikos. The word is sacred, and in the first book of Enoch, chapter 69, verse 14, this oath was placed by Caspiel, the chief of oaths, into the hands of Michael. With this name, with this oath, the sea was made, and the earth set upon the deep. 148, Acathriel, also known as Yah, Yehod, Sebaoth, Actariel, Actriel, Ketheriel, or Yahadriel. He is the crown prince of divine judgment. Acathriel is not merely an angel, but the very manifestation of the Godhead enthroned in glory. Elisha ben Abuya testified, "I ascended into paradise and beheld Acathriel Yahweh, Lord of hosts, encircled by 120 myriads of angels." He is equated with the angel of the Lord, even the Lord himself. He is referenced in various Talmudic sources, such as Talmud Berechoth, Pardes Rimonim, and Sholem's Gnosticism, Merkabah mysticism, and Talmudic tradition. 149, Akka, one of the 9 angels prophesied to judge at the end of the world. When the final hour strikes, his name shall echo among the last. Referenced in the Revelation of Esdras, and in the Ante-Nicene Fathers Library, Volume 8, page 573. 150, Akramachamare. In the Pistis Sophia, this being stands atop the Gnostic heavens, master of the firmament, sun god in secret, invoked in ancient curses. Sholem dares whisper he may be a mask of the angel Ariel. He is referenced in Bonner's studies in magical amulets and in Skolem's Jewish Gnosticism, Merkabah mysticism, and Talmudic tradition. 151, Akhraziel, meaning herald of God. The divine crier, Akhraziel, guardian of the last gate in heaven. He revealed divine mysteries to Adam and bore the cruel decree of Moses' death. According to the legend of the Jews III, when Moses' death was sealed and the prophet pleaded for longer life, God sent Akhraziel to announce that Moses' prayer was not to ascend to heaven. He is also said to be Raziel in another form. 152, Acriel. Acriel is an angel invoked against barrenness and stupidity, the dullness of mind, his power summoned when the words of Deuteronomy are read. Referenced in Margoliath's Malach Elion and in Trachtenberg's Jewish Magic and Superstition. 153, Acteriel, a great angel who, according to a legend, was summoned by the angel Sandalphon himself to learn how Samael, the prince of evil, and his horde might be subdued and undone. Yet even with Metatron at his side, Acteriel found the effort fruitless. Evil, it seems, cannot be slain by angelic hand alone. He is referenced in Bamberger's Fallen Angels. 154, Axariel, another angelic name engraved on a kamea, a sigil against spirits that hunt the living, as referenced in Schreier's Hebrew amulets. 155, Aladiah. Aladiah is one of the 72 angels who bear the sacred ineffable name of God, Shem Hamphare, according to the Magus 2 by Barrett. 156, Alalia, another face, another name of the mighty Metatron, one of his many names. 157, Alamaganael. He is one of the angelic guardians at the gates of the West Wind, one among many who hold the balance of elemental force, referenced in the Ozar Midrashim 2. 158, Alat. In the sealed scrolls of the Hecheloth lore, he stands watch. Alat, angelic guardian of the seventh heavenly hall. In the mystic ascent of Ma'asa Merkabah, none may enter the celestial chamber unless they pass the burning gaze of Alat. His name echoes across the veil of divine silence, a sentinel carved from divine fire. 159, Alazion, a most holy angel of God. His name is whispered in sacred rites, summoned in the conjuration of the reed. From the Key of Solomon to the Book of Ceremonial Magic, Alazion is not just invoked, he is commanded to bind the forces beneath heaven's reach. 160, Albim, watcher of the gates where the north wind howls. In the Ozar Midrashim, his wings unfold as the frozen gates tremble. The wind is his breath, the cold his presence. To summon Albim is to summon a frost-laden judgment. 161, Albrot. Albrot is one of the holy names of gods or of angels invoked in the conjuration of the sword from the Grimorium Verum. 162, Alcin. Another guardian, but this time of the West Wind. The West, where the sun dies and the souls linger. Alcin, stationed at the gate, is not merely wind-born. He is dusk incarnate. 163, Alfatha, he who rules the north. From the forbidden Gospel of Bartholomew, Alfatha's name is etched into the horizon. Alongside Gabriel and Chirum, he commands the celestial pole. 164, Alimiel, one of the intelligences of the first altitude. His companions are the mighty Gabriel, Barachiel, Lades, and Helison. Yet in the Ozar Midrashim, he guards the veil of the seventh heaven. There he is known as Dumahel, the angel of silence, the angel of the final threshold. 165, Alamon, call his name in battle. In the Mosaic rites, he shields you from bullet and blade. He comes with the angels, Rivtip and Tafthi, as his aides, threefold protection bound by divine ink in the 6th and 7th books of Moses. 166, Almiras, master and chief of invisibility. To summon him, one must wear the Ring of Gyges, a relic of secrets. He is named in the Grand Grimoire, but few dare to gaze upon him. 167, Alman, an angelic guard of the fourth heavenly hall, one step beneath eternity, where the flames of divine truth begin to flicker. Almon waits. 168, Alphariza, or Aphariza, an intelligence of the second altitude. Named in the Almadel of Solomon, he is the cipher of the second heaven, translating divine vibration into form and flame. 169, Alphan, the genius or angel of doves. He appears in the Nuktemeron, an angel and governor of the 8th hour. He governs peace, flight, and hidden messages, every coup a whisper from another realm. 170, Alpeel, angel or demon of the fruit trees. He hovers over orchards like a blessing or a blight. In Hebrew mysticism, he is the balance between ripeness and rot. References: an encyclopedia of occultism by Spence and the Dictionary of Mysticism by Gaynor. 171, Altarib, an angel of winter. Named in the Heptameron, he may be summoned in rites when the world lies dead in snow, and silence covers the earth like a shroud. 172, Al-Usain, a female angel of ancient Arabian myth. Her idol was shattered by Muhammad's decree, yet her presence lingers in dreams and dust, as if awaiting her time. She is referenced in Job's Dictionary of Mythology, Folklore and Symbols. 173. Al-Zabamiyah. From the fires of the Quran, they are the 19 angelic guards of hell. They are not saviors, they are watchers, and when they speak, the damned listen. Referenced in the Encyclopedia of Islam 3. 174. Abael, another Lord of Winter. Named in the Magus, he brings stillness, frost and judgment in slow, creeping silence. 175. Abel, an angel of the air of Tuesday. Presiding over Mars and human sexuality, he is a force of passion and war. His domain is the blood that rises, on battlefield and in bed. Found in grimoires, he is both flame and flesh. He is referenced in the secret grimoire of Turiel, the Heptameron, Eros and Evil, and the Magus II. 176. Amalek, the evil serpent. In the Zohar, he is the twin soul of Samael, the poison god. In the Torah, he is cursed. In truth, he is a whisper of betrayal that slithers into every holy place. 177. Abariel, an angel of punishment and weakness, a paradox. He punishes the fragile because fragility itself is sin in the eyes of the unyielding. 178. Amamiel. In the Hecheloth lore, in the Maaseh Merkabah, he guards the third heavenly hall. His wings span the gates of spiritual knowledge, but his blade cuts those who are unworthy. 179. Amarlai, also known as Amarlia, a healer of cutaneous afflictions. He emerges from the land of Sodom, wielding herbs and incantations that cool the burning skin, but scorch the soul. 180. Amarziom, one of the 15 throne angels, as named in the 6th and 7th books of Moses. He is seated upon fire. His word, a gavel that ends worlds. All 15 throne angels will be made known as the series progresses. 181. Abdiel, one of 4 lords of spring. His breath awakens buds, his song melts frost. Named in the Heptameron, he commands rebirth. 182. Abdiel, a silent guard of the third heavenly hall. He holds no weapon, only truth, and truth alone destroys more than any sword. 183. Amator, a holy angelic name for conjuration, according to the Greater Key of Solomon, used only after proper investiture by the summoner. 184. Amazarok, also known as Amezyarak, the corrupted teacher. In Enoch 1, he descended with 199 others to take mortal brides and teach forbidden arts. Whether he is Semyaza or another fallen soul, his legacy is poison masked as knowledge. 185. The ambassadors. They are ambassadors of peace, says the book of Isaiah 33 verse 7. But the Zohar corrects him. These are angels of peace, whose words turn war into wind and chaos into calm. 186. Amber. Mentioned in Ezekiel, interpreted not as a mineral, but as a being. Amber is a fire-speaking form, a living flame, a silent cherub. Not a stone, but a class of angel. He is referenced in Ginsberg's The Essenes and the Kabbalah. 187. Ambriel, also known as Amriel, Angel of May, Prince of Thrones, Officer of the 12th hour of the night. He rules Gemini, wards off evil with his name engraved on ancient talismans. He is the charm, the protector, and the conjured one, found beneath the 7th seal of Mars. He is referenced in the 6th and 7th books of Moses, the hierarchy of blessed angels, the Lemegeton, the Magus II, and Hebrew amulets. 188, Ameratat, a Zoroastrian angel of immortality, one of the Amesha Spentas, celestial powers who outshine death itself. Some say the fallen angel Marut is his echo in Islamic lore. Reference: Fallen Angels in Jewish, Christian and Mohammedan Literature by Jung. 189, Amertati, another name for the angel Mordad. In Arabic legend, he walks between life and death, offering neither. A deathless guardian who keeps time trapped. Referenced in Fallen Angels in Jewish, Christian and Mohammedan Literature by Jung. 190, the Amesha Spentas, the holy immortal ones. They are Zoroastrian archangels, 6 or 7, each embodying divine principle. Almazd is the chief, Ameratat is immortality, Aramaiti is harmony, Asha is righteousness, Horvatat is salvation, Kshatravirya is dominion, and Vohumana is pure thought. They are echoes of the Sephiroth, each balanced by a demonic opposite, led by the great Ahriman. 191, Amezyarak, also known as Amazarak, popularly known as Semyaza. In Enoch the First, he is the corrupter, the one who taught root-cutting and conjuring, a leader among the Watchers. But Eliphas Levi argues that Amezyarak is not Semyaza, but a twin. 2 names, 1 fall. Endless consequences. 192, Amhiel. Inscribed on ancient Oriental charms, Amhiel is an angelic name etched in defense against the forces of evil. These Kamias, imbued with sacred geometry and divine sigils, called upon Amhiel to shield the bearer from malevolent spirits, according to Schreier's Hebrew amulets. 193, Amikar. Revered as a most holy spirit, or even another name for God, Amikar was invoked during the solemn rite of vesting. Yet, in the secret shadows of black magic, even such exalted beings were compelled by invocants to serve. Reference: the Book of Black Magic and of Pacts by Weight. 194, Amides. Like Amikar, Amides was named in the sacred petitions of the vesting prayers, a spirit cloaked in mystery, summoned by those seeking communion at the threshold between light and dark, referenced in the secret grimoire of Turiel by Malachus. 195. Amilphaton. One of the angelic sentinels stationed in the 7th heavenly palace, Amilphaton stands guard in the celestial chambers described in the ancient Ma'aser Merkabah, the lore of the divine chariot. His gaze is a wall between man and ineffable glory. 196. Amisiel. Under the dominion of Angel Sazkiel, Angel Amisiel rules over the 5th hour, guiding sacred energies through time's ethereal stream. His influence resonates in the veil of twilight, where mortal prayer and divine will meet. Reference: the Lemegeton. 197. Amicia. Another sacred name of the mighty Metatron, the great celestial scribe and warrior. 198. Amisor. A towering presence in Solomonic rites, Amisor's name is intoned during fumigation, ritual purification by smoke. His essence rides the incense, responding to sacred fire and command. He is referenced in the Grimorium Verum and the secret lore of magic. 199. Amitiel. The angel of truth, Amitiel stands alongside Michael and Gabriel as a guardian of integrity. In ancient rabbinic lore, when God proposed creating humanity, the angels of truth and peace opposed it. For their protest, they were consumed by divine fire. References: the legends of the Jews and the vocabulaire de l'Angelology. 200. Amiel. The angel of the 4th hour under the angel Vashmiel and of the 7th hour under the angel Mendrion. Amiel means people of God. He governs the sacred flow of time in both day and night, bridging light and shadow as referenced in the Lemegeton. 201. Amnixiel. A ruler of one of the moon's 28 mansions, Amnixiel governs lunar mysteries and is whispered to be among the 7 electors of hell. A paradoxical figure straddling celestial and infernal dominion, according to Barrett's The Magus II and Butler's Ritual Magic. 202. Amnodiel, twin to Angel Amnixiel in both lunar rule and infernal listing. Amnodiel stands at a crossroads between stellar harmony and infernal hierarchy. 203. Amoyus, one of the primordial beings in the paraphrase of Shem, to whom creation's secrets were entrusted. A keeper of forbidden knowledge veiled in Gnostic mystery, according to the secret books of the Egyptian Gnostics by Dorés. 204. Ampharul, king of the flying genii, called forth by King Solomon. Ampharul answers only to his name, bestowing instantaneous travel upon the invocant, a godspeed borne upon the winds, as referenced in the Book of Power. 205. Amrail. In Arabic exorcisms, Amrail is a guardian angel summoned to drive out the jinn and malevolent spirits that plague mankind. Referenced in a Dictionary of Islam by Hughes. 206. Amtiel. A guardian at the 3rd heavenly palace, Amtiel watches the ascending soul. He stands amid divine thrones and burning wheels in the celestial halls of Ma'ase Merkaba Lor. 207. Amudiel, one of the infernal elect, an extra name among the 7 electors of hell. Amudiel's presence defies the clarity of classification, fallen or exalted, judge or tormentor. 208. Amuhael X, an obscure and powerful angel summoned in the conjuring rites of the Sword of Moses by Mgasta. His name is wrapped in sacred letters and pronounced only in arcane breath. 209. Amulet Angels. They are 70 in number, invoked during childbirth. They form a celestial choir that encircles the laboring mother with protective light. Their names are recorded in lost appendices, guarding generations unseen. 210. Amwakil, a second guardian angel in Arabic exorcisms, standing firm against infernal forces with purity and divine decree. Reference, a Dictionary of Islam by Hughes. 211. Amy. Once of the orders of angels and powers, Amy is now a great president in hell. He teaches astrology and liberal arts and longs for redemption, a return to the 7th throne in 1,200 years, a tale dismissed as fantasy by Wierus. References, the Lesser Key of Solomon and the Book of Black Magic and of Pacts. 212. Anabiel. In the Kabbalah, Anabiel is an angel whose presence cures stupidity, a divine balm for mental darkness. His name appears in secret grimoires and esoteric scrolls. 213. Anabona. In the Greater Key of Solomon, Anabona is the divine name by which the universe and man were formed. It is said that Moses heard the name Anabona echoed through Sinai's fire when the 10 Commandments were given to him on Mount Sinai. 214. Anabotus, also known as Arabonus. Summoned in Kabbalistic rites, this angel's power flows through sacred Hebrew inscriptions and ancient ceremonial commands. 215. Anakiel, one of the 4 angels inscribed on the 3rd pentacle of Saturn. Anakiel governs the planet's arcane influence. In Longfellow's first edition of the Golden Legend, he rules Saturn. Later editions swap his name for Orifel. 216. Anael, angel of Venus, love and archangelic dominion. Anael commands the 2nd heaven and announces, "Open all ye gates," in Isaiah 26:2. From ruling kings to kindling desire, Anael's power glows with divine intimacy. He is referenced in multiple sources like Tobit, the Heptameron, and Grimorium Verum. 217. Anaphil, also known as Anpil, meaning branch of God, a chief Merkaba angel, prince of water, keeper of the heavenly seals. According to a certain legend, when Metatron was punished by God, it was Anaphil who lashed him with 60 flaming lashes. However, in Hekeloth lore, where Anaphil is compared with the Creator, he is identified as Metatron himself. He is both a gatekeeper and divine executioner, referenced in multiple sources such as the Major Trends in Jewish Mysticism by Sholem, the Vocabulary of Angelology by Schwab, and the Third Book of Enoch. 218. Anahel, a prince of the third heaven, but one who serves in the fourth. In other texts, Anahel guards the gate of the west wind, a celestial sentinel watching over the setting sun. 219. Anahita, also known as Anaitis. In Zoroastrianism, Anahita is a female angel of exalted rank, the immaculate genius of water and fertility. She brings life to the barren and sanctifies the earth with divine abundance. She is referenced in the Dictionary of the Deities of All Lands by Redfield. 220. Anai, a name inscribed in the characters of angels in the alphabet of the Malachim and invoked in powerful conjurations. It commands demons with holy fire, according to the Greater Key of Solomon. 221. Aneriton, also known as Emeriton, one of the high holy angels, summoned in the rites of exorcising salt and coloring sacred inks. His name is a catalyst of purification. Referenced in the Book of Ceremonial Magic, 222. The Anakim, the giants. These towering beings are the progeny of fallen angels and mortal women, referenced cryptically in Genesis 6, but fully fleshed out in the Zohar, where the children of Uzzah and Azael and other fallen angels are named Anakim. So vast were their forms, the Hebrews were like grasshoppers in comparison. In Ginsberg's The Legends of the Jews, the Anakim were said to touch the sun with their necks. Their original name was Nephilim, the fallen ones. These colossi were remnants of a time when angels spanned from heaven to earth, when the divine brushed the dust of mortality. 223. Ananshel, also known as Ananahel, the grace of God. Ananshel is the angel of divine favor, dispatched by God to sway the heart of King Ahasuerus toward Esther. Origen writes of him in his work On Romans, and Philo's Biblical Antiquities affirms his celestial presence. 224. Anane. Anani is counted among the host of the fallen, a dark echo of rebellion found in Enoch 1. 225. Ananel, also known as Anani, Hananel, or Cananel, a double-faced entity, once an angel, now a demon. He descended to earth via Mount Hermon, one of the first watchers to teach humanity sin, a betrayer. He is referenced in the first book of Enoch. 226. Ananiel, a southern gatekeeper of the wind, one of the cardinal guardians stationed at the thresholds of creation, according to the Ozar Midrashim II. 227. Anaphaxiton, also called Anaphaziton or Aphaton, the name that shudders the stars. Uttered in rites of judgment, it is said to summon the entire universe before divine justice. Also invoked during the exorcism of water, according to the Book of Ceremonial Magic. 228. Anapion, an angel under Mendrian, presiding over the seventh hour of the night, when dreams are deepest and souls most vulnerable. He is referenced in the Lemegeton. 229. Anas. And God sent 2 angels, Sihael and Anas, and the 4 evangelists to subdue the 12 female fever demons and beat them with fiery rods. This is a tale from a 12th century manuscript preserved by Moses Gasta, who theorizes that Anas may be a mystical incarnation of Saint Anne, Mother of Mary, turned into an angel, while Sihael might be another form of Michael. Reference, Studies and Texts in Folklore 2, page 1030 by Gasta. 230. Anuel, patron angel of commerce, wealth and financial dealings, protector of brokers, bankers and tradesmen. His counterpart is a sage, according to La Kabbale Pratique by Ambalan, 231. Anais, angel of Monday, dwelling in the first heaven, summoned from the south in planetary invocations. His presence is largely symbolic, a spirit of time and motion. He is referenced in the Heptameron by Deabano. 232nd Anazakia. His name is etched upon the 3rd pentacle of Saturn, a guardian of that planet's secrets, summoned alongside Amalie, Anakiel, and Arantia. He is referenced in the Clavicula Salomonis and the secret lore of magic. 233. Anazimur, one of 7 throne angels in the first heaven, executors of divine judgment. He is referenced in the Book of Angel Raziel, the Elementia Magica, the 6th and 7th books of Moses, and in the writings of Agrippa. 234. The Ancient of Days. In the Kabbalah, he is Kether, the first of the Sephiroth, the infinite, the being before time, beyond knowing. Cloaked in fire and majesty in Daniel 7:9, his very presence dissolves thrones. To the mystics and the religious, he is the purest manifestation of divinity. 235. Ancor, an angelic name invoked in the conjuration of the reed. Also a divine appellation used in priestly prayers, according to the Key of Solomon. 236. Andas, one of the angelic ministers to Angel Varkan, sovereign of the aerial spirits of Sunday. He circles the perimeter of the sacred summoning circle, according to the Heptameron by Diabano. 237. Aneb, angelic hour ruler bearing the attribute Diku Clement, a gentle force in temporal guardianship. He is referenced in Ambalane's La Kabbale Pratique and Hilda Doolittle's poem Sagesse. 238. Anepaton, also called Anapheneton, a divine name for God used by Aaron in mystic rites. His name is etched into ceremonial rings and conjurations, referenced in various grimoires, such as Ritual Magic and the Grimorium Verum. 239. Aneraton, also called Aniraton, another sacred angelic name, drawn into Solomonic magic for invocation and binding, according to his secret lore of magic, and Grimorium Verum. 240. Anfial, one of the 64 wardens of the 7 halls, a celestial guardian standing watch over the divine palaces, according to Hecheloth lore. 241. Anfiel, also known as Anafiel, meaning branch of God. He is the guardian of the 4th heaven, crowned with majesty that covers the sky itself. Chief of seal-bearers and heavenly porters, he is referenced in Hecheloth lore and the Jewish encyclopedia. 242. Angel of the Abyss. The Angel of the Abyss is Uriel, the warden of Tartarus, the torchbearer of judgment over the world's deep places. His female version is Apsu in Babylonian Chaldean lore. 243. Angel of Adversity. The Angel of Adversity is Mastema, the accuser, the adversary, the tormentor of Job and destroyer in the shadows, often equated with Satan, according to the Book of Jubilees and the Zadokite fragments. 244. Angels of the Altitudes. Among the 4 celestial altitudes, Angels Barachiel, Gabriel, and Gediel reign supreme. Their realm is elevation of spirit and movement of stars, according to the Almadel of Solomon. 245. Angel of Anger. In Moses' ascent to paradise, he encounters fire-bodied angels of wrath, most notably the mighty Af, the burning spirit of divine rage. This event is recorded in the apocalyptic revelation of Moses. 246. Angel of Annihilation, the destroyer sent to annihilate those destined for judgment. In Esther's tale, it is Angel Harbona, or Angel Hazmed. Reference, Midrash Tehillim on Psalm 7. 247. Angel of Announcements. In ancient Persia, the Angel of Announcements is Sirushi. It is he who carried divine proclamations and ruled over paradise. While in Hebrew and Christian law, it is the Angel Gabriel. 248. Angel of Annunciation. The Angel of Annunciation is Gabriel, the messenger of Mary, portrayed by the masters in endless beauty and solemnity. His name appears in Luke's Gospel, not Matthew's, yet his presence echoes through art and scripture alike. 249. Angel of the Apocalypse. Many bear this apocalyptic mantle: Oriphel, Anael, Zachariel, Raphael, Samael, Michael, Gabriel, even St. Francis of Assisi. Each rules an age. St. Vincent Ferrer claimed the title in his lifetime. 250. Angel of April. The angel Asmodel rules April, the season of rebirth. And in Persian myth, his counterpart is Andibihist. 251. Angel of Aquarius. In ceremonial magic, the angel presiding over Aquarius is Ossiel. Rabbi Comer, in Eliphas Levi's Transcendental Magic, names the two governing spirits of Aquarius as Archer and Zachmachiel. They stir the waters of knowledge and revolution, guardians of visionaries and reformers. 252. Angel of Aquatic Animals. The angel of aquatic animals is Manacle, whose dominion flows through the depths, governing all aquatic life. He brings peace to troubled waters and serenity to the soul. 253. Angel of Aries. In ceremonial magic, the angel of Aries, the ram, is Aiel or Machidiel, the latter also presiding over the month of March. In Kabbalistic traditions, the ruling spirits are Sataran and Sarahiel, or Serial, each commanding the fiery, headstrong essence of the zodiac's warrior. 254. Angels of the Ark of the Covenant. Traditionally, two cherubim named Zarel and Jael guard the Ark. Another angel, Sandalphon, is said to be the left-hand cherub of the Ark. Some interpretations of Exodus 25 propose 4 angels in total, 2 on each side. This sacred guardianship is depicted in the work titled A Dictionary of the Bible by Schaff, page 67, carved in gold and power. 255. Angels of the Ascension. In Acts 1:10, 2 men in white stand at Christ's ascension, interpreted as angels. Church fathers Chrysostom, Eusebius, and Cyril of Jerusalem affirmed their presence. Though unnamed, they appear in countless apocryphal visions and sacred art, most hauntingly in Mantegna's Ascension, 1431 to 1506, where Christ rises surrounded by 11 child angels. 256. Angel of Aspirations and Dreams. In Jewish Kabbalah, the moon embodies this spirit. In occult traditions, it is Gabriel, whispering ambition and dream into sleeping minds. Reference, Levi's Transcendental Magic. 257. Angel of Augsburg. A tragic spirit named Agnes Bernauer, mortal wife of Duke Albrecht of Württemberg, drowned as a witch in 1435. In death, she rose in lore as an angelic martyr, her fate immortalized in a chilling woodcut within Paul Carus's The History of the Devil. 258. Angel of August. It is Hamaliel, who rules Virgo and the month of August, according to Trithemius, the Book of Secret Things. Other sources name Moriel, Angel of Ore, and in ancient Persian myth, Shahrivari holds August's flame. 259. Angel of Autumn. The angels of autumn are Guabarel and Tarquam, spirits of the fading leaves and dying light. The Augustian head is Torquere, according to de Plancy's Dictionnaire Infernal. 260. Angel of Babylon. In Midrash Tehillim, the angel of Babylon climbs 70 rungs of Jacob's ladder. Though unnamed, its rise symbolizes a doomed empire's ascent. The angel of Media climbs 52, silent forces behind ancient power. 261. Angel of the Balances. The angels of the balances are Soked Hosi, Dokiel, Michael, and Zehanpuryu, celestial judges weighing souls, actions, and destinies with hands of blazing precision. 262. Angel of the Baptismal Water. Raphael is most often named the Angel of the Baptismal Water. Tertullian claimed an angel empowers baptismal water with divine healing, though he left it unnamed. Other traditions whisper it is another angel called Bar-Pharanges. Reference Smith's Man and His Gods, page 306. 263. Angel of Barrenness. The angel of barrenness is Acriel, who oversees wombs sealed by divine will, both a curse and a lesson. 264. Angel over tame beasts. The angels of tame beasts are Bohemiel and Hariel, keepers of the domesticated and loyal. 265. Angel over wild beasts. The angels of wild beasts are Thegri or Thuriel, Mitniel, Jehil, and Hayal, spirits of the wilderness watching over the feral, untamed, and primal. Reference Hermes' Visions and the Jewish Encyclopedia. 266. Angel of Benevolence. The angels of benevolence are Zadkiel, Hasdiel, and Aksa, embodiments of mercy and grace, hands extended to the sorrowful and lost. 267. Angel over birds. The angels of birds are Ariel and Anpil, wings within wings, guiding the sky's songbearers. 268. Angel of the Bottomless Pit. The angel of the bottomless pit is called Abaddon in Hebrew and Apollyon in Greek, known as the Destroyer, king of demonic locusts. Yet in Revelation 20 verse 2, he binds Satan, not as a devil, but a servant of divine order. Dura's angel with the key of the bottomless pit etches his form in apocalyptic fire. 269. Angel of the Burning Bush. The angels of the burning bush are Zagzagal and Michael. Yet some say it is God himself in angelic disguise, according to Exodus 3 verse 2. In the Targum Yerushalmi, Zagzagal takes form. Rembrandt's Moses and the Burning Bush captures the divine enigma in painted fire. 270. Angel of Cancer, the Zodiac. The Angel of Cancer is Cael, ruler of the celestial crab. However, in Levi's Transcendental Magic, Rabbi Chomer names the governing spirits of the sign of Cancer as Radar and Fakiel, twin forces of emotion and intuition. 271. Angel of Capricorn. The Angel of Capricorn is Kasujoya, the hidden horn. Governing spirits include Sagdalon and Samakiel, according to Rabbi Chomer in Transcendental Magic. 272. Angel of Chance and of Gambling. These are the angels Barakiel, Uriel, and Rubiel, lords of fate, dice, and divine uncertainty, according to the Dictionnaire Infernal. 273. Angel of Chaos. The Angel of Chaos is Michael when chaos births creation. but is Satan when chaos breeds destruction, a shifting mantle depending on darkness or divine necessity. References: The Interpreter's Bible and Legends of the Jews, Volume 5, 274, Angel of the Chaste Hands. The Angel of the Chaste Hands is Uestukati, purity's guardian in flesh and deed. 275, Angel of Chastisement. The Angel of Chastisement is Amaliel, bringer of divine correction. In Coptic lore, Asmodel is both angel and demon of chastisement, April's judgment. 276, Angels of Clouds. These angels are mentioned in the Book of Jubilees, created on day 1, named by none, but their forms drift above every storm. 277, Angels of Cold. The Angels of Cold are unnamed in Jubilees and Revelation of John. Their breath chills the soul, their silence everlasting. 278, Angel of Comets and Meteors. The angels of comets and meteors are Zikiel and Akibel, the fire streakers, watchers of omens in the sky. 279, Angel of Commission Brokers. The Angel of Commission Brokers is Anoel, protector of commerce, finance, and market spirit. 280, Angel of Commotion. According to the 3rd book of Enoch, the Angel of Commotion is Ziel, a storm in stillness. 281, Angel of Compassion. The Angel of Compassion is Rashmiel or Raphael, guardian of mercy, champion of the suffering, symbolized in Max Hunziker's painting for UNICEF. 282, Angel of Conception. The Angel of Conception is Layla, the midnight womb, watching over souls yet to be born. 283, Angels of Confusion. In the Legends of the Jews 4 and the Talmud, there were 7 spirits sent to King Ahasuerus to put an end to his pleasure in the time of Queen Esther. They are Mekumen, the Angel of Confusion; Biztha, the Destroyer of Homes; Barbona, the Angel of Annihilation; Bigtha, the Winepress Presser; Abathur, the twin of Bigtha; Zethar, Immorality's Observer; and Carcass, the Knocker. These same angels are also said to have been sent to sow discord at the Tower of Babel, bringing its fall as recorded in the Book of Genesis. 284, Angel of Constellations. The angels of constellations are Kakabel, or Kochbil, and Ratiel, celestial librarians mapping the stars, referenced in Ginsberg's Legends of the Jews 1. 285, Angels of Corruption. According to Talmudic law, there were 70 tutelary angels assigned by God to rule over the nations of the earth. Sadly, these angels were corrupted by national bias and became the Malachei Habalah, the angels of corruption and perdition. The only angel out of this group who remained uncorrupted was Michael, Israel's esteemed sentinel. Reference: The Traditions of the Jews. 1. 286, Angel of the Covenant. According to various sources like the Zohar and the Vision of Paul, the Angel of the Covenant is a mantle worn by Metatron, Michael, Elijah, Fadiel, and even Mastema, while some say it is the Lord himself in Malachi 3 verse 1. 287, Angels of Creation. The angels of creation are 7 luminous spirits over the planets: Oriphel, Anael, Zachariel, Samael, before his fall, Raphael, Gabriel, and Michael. They dwell in the 6th heaven, according to the Book of Enoch. 288, Angel of Darkness. The chief angels of darkness include Belial, Bernael, Haziel, Beliar, and Satan, lords of torment and affliction. Others name Kokbil or An in Chaldean lore. In Mandaean belief, the 5 primal spirits of darkness include Akrun, Ashdum, Gaf, Hag, and Zaski-Zargana, referenced in the Dead Sea Scriptures. 289. Angel of Dawn. In Gnostic tradition, the dawn's harbinger is not divine, but a dragon, a form of Lucifer. Reference, Job's Dictionary of Mythology, Folklore and Symbols. In Gnostic tradition, the dawn's harbinger is not divine, but a dragon, a form of Lucifer. Referenced in Job's Dictionary of Mythology, Folklore and Symbols. 290. Angel of Daylight. The Angel of Daylight is Shamshiel, Lightbringer, who rules the gates of dawn, according to the third book of Enoch, and amulets and talismans.